Welcome back to part 2 of trying to get this old truck hot rodded, setting low, looking good, running fast. Yes, sir, we got lots and lots to do, and there ain't but one way to do it. So let us get busy. If you recall, last time we worked on this old truck, I told you I was going to take the crank to the machine shop, get it balanced. Well, you got to take the crank, the rods, pistons, wrist pins, rings, and rod bearings. He's got to measure all that stuff, and he'll do his thing, get it balanced. Well, I'm not sure if he balances the rods or if he just gets everything close. So what we're going to do is balance the rods. I made me a little jig right here. He's got some roller bearings. He's got one right there and got one right there. And all you do is you set your rod up in here just like this right here. The reason you use bearings is you want it floating. If it's not floating, it's putting undue pressure and you won't get an accurate reading. Watch this right here. You hit it, it rocks back and forth, and that's going to give you a whole lot more accurate reading. Let me turn it on. Let me take this rod off. Turn the scale on. Let her hit the 0. And then we'll put the rod back on here. Just like it right there. And then we got a reading of, got to let it settle, 518. I'm going to rock the rod a little bit. We got a reading of 518. Rock the rod a little bit again. I'll do it 2 or 3 times. 518. Guess what? This big end weighs 518. That's how you balance rods. You'll weigh the big end of each one. You'll get your lightest one, and then see that square looking pad on the end. That's what you grind off to get each one the same weight as the lightest one. This is for the big end. Then do the little end up here. You'll weigh the whole rod, find your lightest one, and then you'll grind this end to get the total weight of the rods the same. That's basically balancing rods. I'm not lightening rods. I'm not going to grind all of that balancing pad off. No, sir. All I want to do is get them balanced within, if I can get them within a gram, I'm happy. They're pretty close already, but we're going to get a little bit closer. I don't know if he does this. Probably not. He's charging $150 to balance the crank. I bet you he wouldn't go through this process here. Well, I mean, he would, but no, I'd have to pay for it. So I figured, well, let's just go ahead and do it here. I called him 2 weeks ago. I said, can you balance the crankshaft next week? He said, yep, we'll work you in. Well, I called him next week, which was last week, and I said, you told me you could balance a crank this week. You want me to bring it in? Well, let's wait till next week. Well, I'm going to call him tomorrow after I get this balanced, and I'm going to say, you told me you could balance this week. Can you do it? If he says, well, we'll wait till next week, well, then we're done. I'm not fooling with him. We're not even going to balance it. We'll just put it together like it is. I've had the guy do some work before. He does good work. Well, he did all the machine work on the Trans Am motor. And from what I can tell, he does good work. But he has no concept of time. No, sir. When I took that stuff to him, it's been 10 years ago. When I took that stuff to him, he said, I'll have it in 2 or 3 weeks. Literally 2 or 3 months later, he still not had touched it. I'd call him every couple weeks. I'll get it next week. Well, I finally got tired of it. And last time I called him, I said, I'm coming to get it this weekend, whether it's done or not. And he miraculously got it done. Anyways, he has no concept of time. So if tomorrow he tells me next week, then phooey on it. We'll just put it together like it is. I have determined which rod is the lightest one. Well, these two here are the same. They were floating between 517 and 518 on the big end. Let's check them one more time. What we got? Oh, wait a minute. It's done turned off on me. Let me turn it back on. Now, what do we have right here? 517. Let me rock it a little bit. 518. Rock it a little bit. 518. All right. That one's 518. Put it right there. This one, Let's see what it is. Rock it back and forth. 517. Rock it back and forth. 517. 517 again. So we're going to say this is the lightest one. We want to grind the big end on each one of these till we get to 517. And the big end will be balanced. And like I said, we'll weigh the whole rod, find the lightest one. We'll take off the little end and the rods will be balanced. All right, I got them all weighed officially. Here's the list. The lightest is 517. Heaviest is 522. That is 5 grams. You know how much 5 grams is? Well, here is 2 pennies. There's one, there's another one. That's 4 grams, it's 5 grams. It was 5 grams a minute ago. 2 pennies worth between the lightest to the heaviest. And that ain't a lot. And personally, I don't think it really matters, but it is a greater weight at 6,000 RPM because of centrifugal forces. I don't know the formula. I'm sure there's one out there to tell you how much more that equals at 6,000 RPM. But anyway, I've already got this set up and got this built. So let's go ahead and weight match the big ends and see what we get. Most people will use a belt sander. I ain't got a belt sander, so we just got to use a regular old grinder. This one weighed 519, so we got to take 2 grams off of it. Let's just see what it takes to get 2 grams off this rod. I ain't gonna get real aggressive yet because, you know, I don't really know how much to take off. Let's see what that did. Well, it appears that that did absolutely nothing. Let me rock it back and forth. It gained weight. No, it went back to 519. So yeah, we gotta get a little more aggressive. Let me do a little more grinding on it. All right, let's check it again. Well, I done bobbled it back and forth several times and it keeps coming up with 518. So we took about 1 gram off. So let me do that exact much again and, well, we'll be pretty close. All right, what do we got? We got 518, 17. I think it's right on the verge. I think we'll leave it. That's twice. There's 3 times. There we go. Yeah, I think that's good. We'll call it good. Let's do the next one. It is 520 grams. Let us grind. We gotta take 3 grams off this one. All right, what do we have? We're close. We have 518. I do it 2 or 3 times. It comes at 518 every time. Let me grind a little more and get it to 517. Maybe that'll be enough. Look at here what we got. 517 grams. Let me rock her back and forth a few times. 517, 516, 517. Oh yeah, I think we're good to go on that one. That's 2 down, 5 to go. When I get done, I'll be back. Big end is done on all of them. This last one here, I don't know what happened. It was reading funny. It would read 517, which is what it's supposed to be, and then it would, you know, I'd jiggle it and it'd read 13, and it'd read 15, and it'd read 18, and I did it 2 or 3 times that last time and it showed 517. So we're gonna say it's good. What you want to do now, get that little fella there off, hit your tare and zero out your scale. Then you want to weigh each one of them. That's 705. What we got right here, 702. That one there is 703.4. Weigh them all. I'm gonna write them down and then grind this little end to get the overall weight the same, and well, they should be balanced. Got them all weighed. This fella here is the lightest one, and I wonder why. There ain't hardly no weight on the end of it. It is 701, and the heaviest is 706, so that's 5 grams. Just like the big end. Let me get to grinding. I gotta take 3 grams off this one. What do we has? 701, that is what we're trying to get to. Let's check her again. Oh, come on now, feller. One more time. All right, let me hit it just a little bit. Well, let me hit it just a little bit. Ground on it a little bit more. What do we have now? Oh yeah, 701. 702, come on, there you go. It would be best if you could get a scale that reads 0.1 grams, but fellas, this ain't a race motor. This is backyard butchery, and it'll do just fine. I got 6 more to go. I'll be back in a little while. Well, we've got 8 rods that might be balanced. I ain't real sure. This scale, it's a little bit iffy. It started reading stupid right here at the end. Let's just measure them one more time. See that, and there's 702, and that was the 701, the light one. 700. 700. Well, the rest of them seem to be pretty close. 701. I'll tell you what I'll do. Maybe tomorrow I'll weigh them all again, and we'll see what we got. And I might hit them a little bit more, get them a little closer. But if you're going to get a scale, get a good one. Get one that reads, you know, down to 0.1. That'll help you out a whole lot. Anyways, it is very late. I'm going to go in the house, get off my feet, and tomorrow we'll take them to the machine shop along with the crank and all that. Hopefully, we'll call him, see what he says. And then, I don't know, we'll work on something. We may start boring the block. Well, it's been almost 2 weeks since we worked on this old jalopy. It'd be 2 weeks in a couple of days. And, well, I still don't have my stuff back from the machine shop. No, sir, sure don't. He told me, well, on the phone, he said, I can get to it this week. And then when I got up there, he said he was working on a line home job. He said, I got this and 2 more balancing jobs ahead of you, and then I'll get yours. Almost 2 weeks ago. Fellers, it don't take, you know, you can do a balancing job in a day easily. Yes, sir. I don't know what we're going to do because that motor needs to be balanced. Because with the heads I'm putting on it, the cam's going to be pretty hefty cam. She's going to turn a little bit of RPM. And I hate to put that motor together, you know, with it not being balanced. It may fly apart. May beat the bearings out of it. I don't know. So we're basically at his mercy. I'm going to call him in 2 days. I'm going to say, you know, what's up, man? You told me you could get it in a week, and it's 2 weeks later, and you ain't touched it. I mean, I don't know what else to do. But the only thing we can do to this truck right now is some sort of cosmetic stuff. I'm going to get my brush out, my wire brush, put it on my grinder. I want to grind all underneath because it's pretty rusty. It's just surface rust, but it's really rusty. Get all that cleaned off and get it painted. The engine bay, let's get over here and look at it real quick. The paint ain't bad up here. It's just really dirty and greasy. So what we're going to do is wash it, pressure wash, and then if I have to, I'll hand wash everything. I don't really want to paint this. These inner fenders are plastic. We might have to paint them because it's hard to get plastic clean once it gets dirty like that. We'll just have to wait and see. But I do want to get all this framework up here cleaned and painted. Also, let's go back to the bed. Let me show you what I got back here. Gas tank. Oh yeah, brand new gas tank. J.C. Whitney. I didn't know they were still in business. No, sir. I remember that from, you know, when I was a kid. I think is it carparts.com now? I might be wrong, but there's no jcwhitney.com. It goes to another website. Anyway, I didn't know they were still in business. Also, this box here are new frame motor mounts. Let me show you what I'm talking about. If you've seen the first video of me getting this old truck running, you remember me commenting saying the motor was shifted way over to the passenger side. Bad enough that they had to cut the frame out. So the exhaust wouldn't hit right there. And well, I got to studying, and well, I got on LMC website looking at parts for these trucks. And this mount here, that mount there, you have a straight 6 and you have a V8 mount. Well, apparently these are still the straight 6. Those in the back of the truck are for the V8. We got to take these off, put them on. Hopefully it'll scoop the motor back that way. And I'm going to have to weld a piece into that frame there because I ain't going to leave that like that. That's about all we got a few dents we could probably knock out. There's one in that fender there. I don't know if you can see that very good or not. There's one over here in this door. It's pretty good size. We can knock that out. And then I think we might start cleaning on the inside because the mouse pepe smell is pretty doggone bad. Yep. Right now though, let's get our wire brush to go to cleaning all this frame. That's probably all I'm going to do today because that's going to take a while. Yep, because I want it fairly clean so we can keep the paint on it for a while. Rear end, I need to take it outside and pressure wash it, and then we'll paint it. I'm not sure yet if I'm going to go ahead and put a posi unit in a little lower gear or if I'm just going to leave it stock like it is for now. I ain't made up my mind yet. But anyway, let me get my grinder out. We'll go to grinding and, well, probably going to create a lot of dust because she's pretty rusty under there.
Let's make some dust. Oh, yeah.
Well, here's the deal, fellers. I am not doing this. No, sir. That's going to take forever. Yep. Well, I got this done. I got this cross member done here. And it's knocking all the rust off. But you get in here, and there's a lot of little intricate places that I can't get with that grinder. So I got my hand brush out, and yeah, that's not going to happen. So I think what I'm going to do, let's get the pressure washer out. And we'll go to washing everything. I'm going to get soaking wet. The shop is just going to be a mess, but I think it'll be a whole lot quicker if we pressure wash it. So let us get busy doing that. Well, I had to run to the store to get some gasolines for the pressure washer. I stopped at the Dollar store and got this here poncho. And it says, adult poncho, one size fits all. Something's telling me that this probably ain't made for a big feller, but we're fixing to find out. If I can figure out how you get the thing on. I don't know, it is pretty good size. It might fit. Very thin. Oh yeah, look at here. This is just wonderful. All right, let us get busy and start pressure washing this thing. Well, that was a wee bit of a mess, but we managed to get her clean. Yes, sir, it ain't bad. Let's get under here and look at it. Mucho betero as far as rust, and there was a lot of mud too. I do think I should have come back over it one last time because there's little bits and pieces. We'll blow it off of there. It'll be all right. But yeah, there was big old flakes of rust, and it just looks like a regular old rusty frame now. We'll put some black paint on that, and we'll be good to go. Oh yeah. Look at this outside frame right here. I did not do the engine bay. Well, it's a lot of grease and a lot of, what do you call this, putty knifing. And I didn't feel like doing it. No, sir. So once we get a rear end in it, I'm gonna back it outside and we'll clean that engine bay real good. But yeah, it looks good enough to paint now. Yep, I think we'll be A and okay. It is a mess in here. There's a light coat of rain over everything. And I'm soaked. The little poncho, it did pretty good, but my pants are soaked from the knees down, yes, sir. So if you're going to do this, I would suggest you get poncho pants if they make them, and rubber boots because my socks are squishing right now. Anyways, I've done swept all this out. I'm fixing to turn this big fan on right here. Maybe dry some of this up, and then in a little while, I'm going to turn that air conditioner down just low as it'll go and let it dehumidify. I'll shut the door, turn it on, let it dehumidify. So probably done for the day, but on this anyway. I got to go do some stuff for my handy dandy assistant. Well, I'll tell y'all what. I'll just take you with me. I'll show you what I got to do. All right, here's what we got going on. He's got a skid steer that, well, here's the pumps, the hydraulic pumps for it. And what happened is, Lovejoy coupling right here. This is what couples it to the motor. Well, there's nothing to hold it in place. Usually they got a set screw, but it ain't got no set screw anywhere. Well, what happened is it dropped back like that and wore this housing out. Wore out enough that this snap ring popped out, and this seal goes down in there. Well, it come out, and then it just let hydraulic earls just go everywhere. We got to fix that. A new pump is, I think he said $1,500, and I don't blame him for not wanting to spend that kind of money on a pump when we can fix this right here. So here's what he come up with. It's got a big old whoosher right here. It fits down in there just about perfect. Yep. But, you know, we can't get our seal out if we ever need to. So what I'm going to do is put this on the lathe, cut this ID out to match whatever this measures, and then weld this whoosher to the outside, and hopefully that'll fix it. Oh yeah. Let's get this chucked up in the lathe and see what we can do with it. Let's see what we got to have on the ID. It is going to be approximately right there. We'll call that 1 inch and 891. Yep. As long as it's a little larger than this seal right here. Yeah, we got a little bit of wiggle room right there. I think that'll be all right. So let me get the whoosher chucked up in the lathe, and we'll go to cutting on it. All right, I got it set up in the lathe there, and I done took a few little cuts. Just measured it with the calipers. We got about 3/4 of an inch to go. That's quite a bit. We are using my new boring bar set I got. Been wanting to try that out. It's got an indexable cutter on it. Oh yeah, pretty neat. I forgot to bring my camera stand. I got one there, but it won't work with this new setup. So I got to do everything holding the camera. I'm gonna try to do that. Maybe I won't mess stuff up. Anyways, let's go to cutting. I think we're there. I'm just a wee bit over. I decided to go to 900. Well, it ended up, what was that, 906. I think we'll be just fine and dandily. Let's bring it over here and put it in place, and we'll put the seal in place and see what everything looks like. Well, I do believe everything's going to work. Here's the snapping ring. I'm going to squeeze it. Well, it went flying. Let me reset that. Let us try that again. Maybe it won't go flying this time. I'm trying to close this snap ring up, make sure it's going to fit in there. Oh, yeah. Got plenty of room there. Now, put this little feller where it's going to go. Where's my seal? Right here. Will it go past it? Oh, yeah, we got plenty of room. I do believe it's going to work. I need to tack it in place. And then we got to, he wasn't sure if he wanted to drill and tap this for set screws or make a little collar, I think it'd be better off to do a set screw. So let me talk to him about that. But yeah, let's go back to the shop and weld this on. Well, let's see if we can get her tacked in place. I got this wet rag here to keep slag from sticking to that shaft and sort of keep it cool. I'm not going to do a solid weld because that's liable to burn other seals up. We're just going to tack it several places. All right, now I want to see if I can get that seal out of there. If so, then we're centered up pretty good. Will it or won't it come out? Oh yeah, it comes out pretty good. I think we'll be okay there. Let me get this rag down in here to keep slag out of that bare ink and maybe keep things a little cool. I'm just going to tack it a bunch all the way around. Matter of fact, I might get the air hose over here and blow it after I tack it. Let's do that. All right, I got me a wet rag, and I keep forgetting that, I don't know if y'all can see it or not, I got a mic right here. I keep forgetting that I got that on, and when I get away from the camera, I go to hollering. I got to stop doing that. Anyways, let's get this little feller here tacked in. This ain't welding real good. Metal is porous, and it has probably soaked up some oil. It's welding like it's got oil in the metal. So I don't know if it's going to work or not. I guess we'll find out eventually. Let's see if we can't whoop that seal in there. That looks pretty good. Now, will the snapping ring go down in there and fit the groove? I may have messed up, fellas. I should have put this on and then the whoosher on top of it to make dang sure, you know, I had enough space for this to go in. So I may have screwed up right here. Well, I dropped the snap ring. These are garbage. I've lost all my good ones. I ain't got a clue where they're at. These are the only ones in the drawer. And, well, they're just garbage. They won't open up enough. What in the world? Look at here. I think it might actually went in the groove. Yes, sir. This is awesome. Oh, yeah. With Artiz, I do believe the snap ring is in the groove. Do not look at these welds. Like I said, this metal has soaked up the earls and it just won't weld very good. It's welding like it doesn't have gas. But yeah, that snap ring, it's definitely in the groove. So that's awesome. Now the next thing is, what are we going to do about this coupling? Because if I can get it on the splines, it shouldn't be doing that right there. There should be something holding it firmly in place up against the other half of the Lovejoy coupling. Don't know what to do about that. We've discussed putting a set screw in it and discussed maybe putting a collar down here, but if you do the collar, it still may let it float back and forth, and it shouldn't be doing that. This skid steer, he told me the other day when I first looked at it, he said it was a prototype unit. The company evidently went under, and they sold however many machines they built at an auction, and that's where this come from. So there's probably not going to be a manual on it. I'm sure they use common parts, so what I'm going to do, I'm not going to do anything to that coupling just yet. I'm going to get online here a little bit and see how brand name units connect the coupling and all that, and maybe a part is missing. You know, they are prototypes. There may be a part missing, but anyway, I got to study on that. But yes, sir, I think that'll work pretty good. Well, I'm glad to have that much of that done. Like I said, I will go research here in a little while and see how brand name machines are put together, and maybe we can come up with something for that, because that ain't right. It shouldn't be like that. Anyway, I'm fixing to call it a day. Well, I want to discuss something with y'all real quick. Last night on my Facebook page and the YouTube channel here, I was gauging interest, and I asked if y'all would be interested in a vehicle giveaway. And the last time I looked, I didn't have but 72 comments, and well, that ain't gonna cut it, fellas. Well, let me put it to you this way. I got a little over 82,000 subscribers, 30 to 35,000 regular viewers, and 72 comments. Yeah, that ain't gonna cut it. So I'm gonna ask y'all here where everybody can see. Would you be interested in a vehicle giveaway? It would be buying something like this truck here. Nothing fancy, because I'm not a big channel, fellas. I can't afford to a $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 vehicle to give away. Anyway, be something like this, and I'll do my work. I'll build a motor. We'll fix it up, make it look decent. And that's, like I said, it's not going to be a $20,000, $30,000 vehicle. And then we'll do the giveaway, and I will video the progress, and I will ask y'all, what do you think about this or that? Would you want this? Would you want that? Because it's going to be one of y'all's vehicles. But I've got to have the interest in it, because if I spend $5,000, $10,000 on a vehicle and I don't have but 72 people enter the contest, I'm going to be out quite a bit of money, fellas, and I can't really afford that right now. So again, if you are interested in doing a vehicle giveaway, just put a comment down here saying, yes, I'm interested. Yes, I'd love to do that. Something of that nature. And if I get enough interest, we will do it. Yes, sir, we sure will. Anyways, I'm going in the house, study on this pump. I'll see y'all Monday, because today's Saturday, tomorrow's Sunday. Sunday's the day of rest is what I plan on doing. Hope you do the same. See y'all Monday. Tis Monday. Well, the old jalopy is still hanging around in my way. Yep. I called the machine shop a little while ago. Didn't get no answer. It is Veterans Day. And I guess he took the day off. If I'm not mistaken, he may be a veteran himself. It seemed like he told me he was a machinist in the Navy. Anyways, we'll call him tomorrow and see what's going on with the parts. Hopefully he's going to get to them this week. By the way, it is Veterans Day. I do appreciate all veterans, past, present, and future. Y'all are awesome. Let's do something I've been putting off for a little while. I got a few things in the mail over the last probably 2 or 3 months. Yes, sir. I went and got these 2 today, and it reminded me, hey, you got other stuff that, you need to show on the video. Let's start right here from Benjamin Carpenter. Got me some welding gloves. Heatworks Bid Welding gloves, extra large. You remember me, mine burned up back when we was building the trailer. I bought some off Amazon, and when they wear out, we'll start using them. But I do appreciate that, Benjamin. Then I got these kneeling pads, extra thick, and they're pretty thick. Probably 1.5 inches thick. I do not know who sent them. I've lost the paperwork. I do apologize for that, and I do appreciate you sending them. I try to stay off my knees as much as I can, but when I do have to get on them, those do come in handy, so I appreciate that. Next, we got all this stuff right here. It's 3 bags of carb studs, a cam removal tool, this distributor wrench, I think it's 9/16. That'll fit a shimmy lay. Ford and Dodge is 1/2 inch. And then we got 3 carbs. Yes, there's 3. I know there's only 2 here. I do know how to count. One of them is what we put on the old Dodge last week to get it running. Yes, sir, it's pretty awesome. I believe he sent these for me to put on the 40, because I'm having trouble out of that middle one. These are the large base, and they will not work on that intake. But we did get some use out of one of them. That's awesome. I'm sure we'll use them other 2 eventually. And this is from, let's see, Niles Zimmerman I believe he is from Knoxville. Yes, sir. Appreciate that, Niles. And then last but not least, I just went and got this today. We got, this is an attachment you put in your drill, and it'll shear metal. We'll have to try that out pretty soon, because that could come in very handy. Then we got this right here. You're looking at the box. This is pretty old, and it's called a spark plug tire pump. I have heard of these. I've never used one, never seen one in person, but this is pretty neat right here. This is what this does. You stick this in your spark plug hole. You'll have adapters for different threads. This one here is for a 14 millimeter. Anyways, screw that in your spark plug hole, and then the other end, you screw that onto your valve stem when you tire, and you start your car up, and it will pump your tire up. Yes, sir, it sure will. There's a gauge that goes to 100 PSI. Run engine slowly for best results. Well, I hope so, because, yep, I'd say that would pump a tire up pretty quick. I have a project on the back burner that we're going to do one of these days. Turn a V8 into an air compressor. We'll get to that one of these days, but that's pretty neat there. We'll have to use both of them sometime, see how they work. That is from Jack. I believe he was from Danville, Kentucky. Appreciate that, Jack. Thank y'all for sending me this stuff. My P.O. Box address is in the description right below the video here. If you want to send me some junk, we'll send it on. Now, let's work on this pile of junk here for just a little bit. I had to take a couple days off last week because my knees got so bad, and we ain't done much of nothing on this truck. I'm going to try to do something today. I want to get that rear end back up in here and get the springs back mounted. And then we can get some tires on it, and we might roll it outside and clean up the engine bay. But yes, sir, let's get that rear end on here real quick. Well, I completely forgot about this right here. Feller by the name of Travis messaged me on Facebook a while back and said he had a couple motors that he wanted to give me. So I went up there, I think it was in Lewisburg, Kentucky. Went up there and got them one day. It's a TBI 350. That's like what's in the old Hootie 4-wheel drive. Got a Vortec 350 right there. So roller motor, potential roller motor, and that's awesome. Yes, sir, I like the roller motors. You ain't got to worry about wearing a cam out with the roller motor. Anyways, appreciate that, Travis. And if I have forgotten something that you have sent me, well, I do apologize, but fellers, y'all know, my memory is just terrible. All right, let's see if we can't get this heavy little son of a gun back up under this truck. This is not going to be fun. No, sir. It really ain't. Oh, yeah. Let's see. Gotta get that up. Over. Oh, yeah. Be still now. No, stay. All right, let me go to this side. See if I can't pick this up. Oh, yeah. This is going to be fun, fun, fun. Ooh-wee. Oh, yeah. All right, got part of the battle done. Whew, I might have to get on my knees. I sure hate to do that. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Oh, yeah. Come on, get up there. By George, we've almost got it. Let me raise it up now so I ain't got to be on my knees. Ooh, man, that hurts so bad. Ooh. I got it raised up. Let's see if we can't get it over the axles here. Oh, my goodness, that's heavy. Ooh-wee. Let me get the other side. Real quick like. Well, it's already over it, so that's good. All right. Well, we got her in place. That's the biggest battle. Now, I got to get my spring purchase. I don't know where they're at. I got to find them, and then we'll go from there. All right, we got the little feller in place, and now what we got to do is put new spring purchase on. That's what that is. Right there. Let me get the flashlight where you can see. That little fella right there. That is what the spring sat on. Remember, this rear end was under these leaf springs. Well, we're putting it over it, and we're lowering it approximately 4 inches. Well, you see under here, it's got that little locating pin. It's round, and then you got a regular old hex nut here. Well, of course, it's a round hole. Here's our new spring perch. It's a round hole in the middle. It ain't big enough. We got to drill it out. And I think what we'll do too, hopefully this pin will come out easily, and we just flop it over, put the round part up here because that's a round hole. Let me see if this will come out easily, and then we'll drill a hole out in the new spring perch. Will it come out without putting up a fight? Probably not. Let's see, I need to go this way with these. But let's just see. Well, I'm amazed. It came right out. So, let's get this pin out. We'll just turn her over. Put her right back like she was. Well, I had to go grind on the threads because it looked like somebody whooped on it with a hammer and sort of mushroomed it. So let's see if that right there will help us out or not. Come on, man! Ooh, that's hurting right there. I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. Let's go get a clamp. Hold that together. Let's see if this clamp won't help us a little bit. Try and hold it together. Now, can I get this started or not? Well, that nut, it won't go back on, so I don't know what we're going to do other than just get a regular old bolt and stick it in the hole because it refuses to start. You know what we're going to do on the other side? We ain't taking this bolt out. No, sirree. We sure ain't. Here's the deal, fellers. We are going to put a 70/16 bolt in that hole, and we ain't going to think nothing else about it. Nope. Tired of fooling with it. I couldn't get that nut to go on that bolt. So yes, sir, this is what we're going to do. Need a bigger ratchet wrench. All this is for is to locate the rear end. It holds the springs together, while you're putting it together. But this plate here, which will go on the bottom, and your U-bolts, that's what holds things together. All right, there we go. Now, let's go drill the holes in this to whatever size it needs to be for that head to fit through it. All right, the hole in the plate is 725, which is almost 3/4. I think that setup is metric. I believe it was a metric bolt. Anyway, the hole in this one is like 550. So we're going to hit her with a 5/8 and then a 3/4 and call it done. I think that's through. Let me make sure. All right, there's that one. Let me do the other one, and we'll get these put on the rear end. All right, we got them drilled out. They will sit on the top of the spring, just like it right there. And this old heavy rear end, I got to pick it up just like this right here. Set it in that cradle. Get it kind of straight. Then, where are my bolts? Here are my bolts. The big old U-bolts. We'll go from the top down into this here plate. And see that hole? That's got to go over the bolt. Well, it ain't going to go over that bolt because that nut is bigger. We got to drill this out. Yep. Fellas, when you start modifying things, it's one thing after the other, yes, sir, that you just have to keep modifying. Let me figure out what size it needs to be, and I'll drill that out. I'll be right back. Well, I had to go to Mama's to get a bigger drill bit. So I think what we got will work now. So we got to put this right here. Then we got to get this U-bolt down in here. If I got this going the wrong way, I think I do. Let's turn her like that right there. Get that U-bolt down in there. Where's my bolts? My nuts, I mean, for the U-bolts. Here they are. Get these put on. They are Teflon locking nuts, so that's good. Ain't gotta worry about them backing off. Once I get this on, this side on, we are gonna, there's a big old red wasper right yonder on the rear end housing. Anyways, when I get these on, or this side on, we're gonna have to jack it up. And remember, we had to twist these leaf springs to get them out of the hangers. So I need to do that before I get both sides bolted in, because I may not be able to twist it enough to get it in. So let me get this done up right here, and then we'll do that. Actually, I can't get to that, so let's do it now. Yep, that sounds pretty good. It sure does. Here's what I'm doing. I got her sitting back on jack stands again. I got the rear end on my air jack here. I'm going to raise that up because that's kind of heavy. It'd be hard to try to hold that up and then work this shackle around up here. So let me raise that up a little more, and then, yep, hopefully I can wrestle them around, and it'll be much, much easier. Yes, sir. All right, let's see if we can get this here wrestled up above here, just like it right there. Where are my bolts for this? I think this is one of them right here. I hope it is. Now this spring, it's got to come back some. How am I going to do this? I don't know, sir. I might have a pry bar or something. Let me get that. All right, let's see if I can make this work. Well, this is not working like I want it to. The spring needs to flatten out. I don't know if I can manhandle that or not. Oh, I don't think so. Well. I'll tell you what I can do. Let me try something. Let me get another jack. Ooh. I'm gonna put this jack under the spring, raise it up, and that'll let me pull down on it and flatten it out. Maybe then that hole will line up. All right, let's see what that does. Well, we're closer, but I got to go up some more. Oh, man, that is really close. Tell you what, let me get a screwdriver and stick in there. I think I can pry it around like that. Oh, look at that. Oh, yeah. Get on in there, bud. Where's my hummer? Hummer, where are you? I found it. Get this bead in there. Ta-da! Where are the nuts for these bolts? I think this is it right here. Just to make sure that don't come out. Now, let me do the same thing over yonder. Oh, yeah. Let me get my hammer, whoop on it. Ta-da! All right. Now, let's get back up there and see if we can't get that rear end bolted in. Now, we can put our little perch up there. I'm going to put that on that side, and we can let the rear end down. Approximately right there. Let me go on down now. Oh, yeah. Just like a glove. Let's see if we can't get this rear end where it needs to go. Going by them other spring perches, I need to come this way. Approximately right there. Let's go ahead and get the U-bolts in. Then we'll worry about that in a little while. Had to let the lift down a little bit. It was a little too high. Anyway, let's get these U-bolts in here. They're a wee bit long. We'll have to cut them off. All right, I got them started. Let me go put them on the other side too. Then I'm gonna try to jack the truck up where I can get my impact under there. If not, I'll have to use a dead flame ratchet. I'm not a fan of that at all. I'll be right back. Going up. What size are you, little buddy? You are that size right there. Well, I'm going to have to go up a little bit more. That's all I got. Yep. Let's see if we can get it under there now. Well, might help if you got the gun going the right way. I tell you what, my brain is just, I ain't got no brain. Well, I need an extra long socket. I ain't got one, so you know what I should have done was cut some of these off because I knew they were too long. Let me do that. I'll cut them off about right there with my cutoff wheel, and then that'll let me use my socket. It's always something, always. It's always something to get on my nerves. All right, I'm not going to tighten these up real tight because we can't weld our perches in yet. I'll tell you in a minute. Let me go do the same thing over there and I'll be right back. Well, I got some nuts and bolts tightened up. Put the wheels back on, aired them up, dropped it down so I can see how much we lowered it. And let me tell you, we lowered it quite a bit. Oh yeah. Should be about 4 inches. I measured from here to the fender well before we started, but that was 2 weeks ago. I don't remember what I did yesterday. I might see if I got a before picture. If I do, we'll put it up right here and compare it. But yeah, we dropped her quite a bit. I'm a little concerned now because we may be very limited on wheel selection unless we narrow that rear end, and we ain't doing that right now. No, sir. Well, you know, I got these tires right here. Come off a dude. I was hoping to put them on, but I don't think they're going to work. Tell you what, let me jack it back up. Take this wheel off, and we'll set that up there. Just see what it looks like. Oh, yeah! All right, let me let it down a little bit. Well, we like just a wee bit for that being centered on the axle, and we got maybe 1/4 of an inch right there. So we ain't gonna be running this tire. No sirree, sure ain't. I bet that would look good though. We'd have to narrow the rear end, and I don't feel like doing it right now. No sir, so I'll just have to get a wheel that'll fit for now, and then we'll worry about that later, but yeah, that would look pretty doggone sharp. I did make a list here the other day. I don't know if we can mark anything off because we ain't got much done this week. Sure ain't. We did clean the frame, so that's good. My axle flip is almost done. Oh, I forgot to tell y'all why we can't weld the, what do you call them, spring perches yet? Well, I've got to have my pinion angle set. Well, I can't figure that out until I get the motor and transmission in and measure it. Then we'll go off of that. So that's why I can't weld him up yet. But anyway, the axle flip, we'll say it's done. Yeah, because there's a pinion angle right there. What else? Got a weld spring perches on. That sort of looks like about all we have done. Like I said, we ain't done much. No, sir. Anyways, maybe next week or next time we work on it, we'll get a little bit more done. Sure hope so anyway. Well, fellas, I think I'm going to call the video. Yes, sir. like I told you, I had to take a couple of days off this week because my knees, they're absolutely killing me right now. But I have discovered that if I take Tylenol every 6 hours, it helps tremendously. Oh, yeah. I've been out here probably 6 hours today, and they're just now starting to hurt real bad. So it's giving me, a couple extra hours every day, so that's good. Also, it's probably going to be a couple of months before I can get in to see a doctor about my knee, so I guess I'm just going to have to suffer through it, and we'll try to get a video out every week. Yep. Anyways, next week, depending on the machine shop, I don't know if we're going to be working on this or something else. I'm waiting on him. Anyways, appreciate y'all watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you don't mind, hit that like, comment, subscribe, share it with your friends. And until next time, go do something. Blur, blur.